Shadowly bridge burners and fuzzy Dunlop skates, and today we're going to talk about thinkers versus doers and the dangers of doing either too much. I read a book a few years ago called How to Analyze People on the Spot. I'm going to put a link up in the description. It's really funny. It's informative too. It's not 100% accurate about everything. If you get through it, you'll see why towards the end, but it's good. It's got some useful shit, and a lot of the stuff you know already. But anyway, this was a line from the book, and I'm probably butchering it, but because I'm just going off of what I remember. But it said there are two extremes in personality types: the person that thinks too much, and the person that doesn't think at all. And the person that thinks too much is often poor as a result, and the person that doesn't think enough is either in jail or dead as a result. And I mentioned this briefly in my fucking skateboard video, How to Succeed at Everything. I recommend you watch it if you haven't. It's a good video. It's also true. But that's it, and I believe that, the world needs people of varying degrees on either end of the spectrum. But I think that it's important not to be too much like either. And most people, unfortunately, these days, most people on the internet, most people that don't put out content especially, or, that don't show their faces or whatever, like their content becomes very introspective. And, it's just, they tend to go down the road of becoming just thinkers. And it's not good. And the reason why it's not good is because it gets you nowhere. And that's it. And being a just straight doer will get you anywhere, but like it could literally get you anywhere. Like you have no fucking idea. You're just you're like a fucking rock. And I'm not saying be like this. Some people, like, that's what they need to do. They need to think less and do more. I think most people do. And if you think too much, it just dulls you. And you have to act on what you discover, and you have to act on what you learn. If you have an idea for something great, try to make it into fucking reality. Again, I could use a tired skateboarding analogy, but I'll use a t-shirt analogy, okay? I make t-shirts. So if I have something cool, if I have something I want to say even that I think would be funny, I'll fucking make a note of it, and I'll make a shirt out of it. That's, it's just fucking, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Yeah, thinkers and doers. Marijuana affects the memory. But that's it, and I think combining both, and look, I have a business as a result of that, and I can live, fairly comfortably because of that, because I'm not just a guy that had ideas in his head that never did anything with them, but I learned to put them into fruition, and, there's a lot of steps before the idea in your head becomes a fucking t-shirt. You have to draw it on your computer, and then you have to fucking print it out, and then you have to tape it to a screen, and then you have to draw it on the screen, and then you have to remove the part that you taped, and then you have to paint all around it, and then you have to wait for it to dry, and then you hope it turns out, and then, you print it, and then you have to make a different screen for every color. But, you do it, though. And I think that this has given me an advantage in almost everything, because it's made me extremely independent. And like the other extreme, let's say you're great with your hands, or you're a good laborer, but you don't think, and you don't want to be bothered with that shit, then chances are you're not going to be anything more than a drone, like your whole life. And it's a shame, especially in this case, like, you need to think more, and you need to start asking questions about stuff that, like, you might have just not been curious about. This is only if you want to change. If you're happy where you are, then fine. I don't have anything to fucking offer you other than just to keep doing what you're doing. But I think the trend these days, anyway, from what I notice, is that people just tend to think too much, and and if you think too much, you end up dismissing everything as just being a fucking waste of time, because you're just gonna die. And what's the point of doing anything? But, like, if you're so smart, if you're such an intellectual, then, haven't you realized that, it's to get the most out of life instead of getting the bare minimum? Otherwise, like, why don't you just fucking kill yourself now? Like, seriously, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing other than dragging other people down? Like, by being a so-called fucking intellectual, limp-wristed fucking basement dweller. I don't fucking know, man. I stopped hanging out with people like this a long time ago, and as a result of that, I stopped hanging out with fucking most people I know, and because they were just going down this road, and I don't like it. It's fucking depressing to me. So like, I like to think and I like to do shit, and I think that's a fucking trick. And I think that if you are in an intellectual line of work, let's say, I think if you are more manual than the other guys, it'll give you a huge advantage. Like, chances are you're going to be the fucking alpha there, for one thing. And consequently, like, if you're the smartest out of the fucking grunts, even if you're not that smart, you're going to rise very fucking quickly. I know, I've been in both of these positions, and, you know, I didn't try. I was just being myself, you know, and I think when you try to fit in, like, either way, you know, like, if let's say extreme hypothetical example, like you work with like blue collar guys or whatever, and you know you're afraid to talk about something because you think the other guys are gonna fucking make fun of you or whatever. Like, I don't think you should. I think you should fucking talk about it anyway, and you know it's gonna fucking differentiate you from them by being yourself. And at the same time, like, if you work with a bunch of fucking nerds and none of them knows how to fucking change a light bulb, or they're all afraid to get their hands dirty when fucking something needs doing, you know how to do this. Like, even if it might be looked at as a basic skill, these guys are gonna fucking respect you. Or if you're in physically good shape, or if, like, you know, if you fucking stick up for them, like one day when you go out, and like, you know, it's just, there's no way it can't help you by knowing how to be both a thinker and a doer. Because anyone can have an idea, and anyone can be a fucking drone or a fucking laborer. But the people that I think have the fucking most fulfilling lives and that end up fucking changing the world are the people that can do both. So let me know what you think in the comments downstairs, and have a great weekend. I'm Fuzzy Dunlop Skates, and you're watching BRIDGEBURNERS TV. Shadowlay.